Hi there, welcome. You're watching the stock game right here on Easy Now. I'm Devina Menon.
Welcome, I'm Avan Dabas. Let's just get an insight actually as to what the stock game is all about before we get started. So essentially, we've got a notional amount of 5 lakh rupees which we dole out to 3 of our experts who join in all the way from Monday up until Friday. And being anniversary week, this time we've got 3 brokerages who are competing to be the winner. They can choose 4 stocks where they have to deploy their money, and remember, only one stock can be chosen from the F&O space. They can have short positions in the cash market, but that has to be squared off by the end of the day. And every single day we do have a compulsory churn of 2 stocks. And by the end of Friday, we'll see who will be the winner, which will be announced at 3:30 p.m. from our 3 guests. So let's introduce them and bring them on board. We've got with us today Shrikant Chauhan. We've also got Gaurang Shah as well as Shardul Kulkarni, who are joining in the 3 brokerages who are competing with each other. But first, Devina is going to take you through what their portfolios look like on day 1.
Oh yes, this is a very interesting mix. Yesterday you had some stop losses getting triggered. A whole new churn of portfolios coming about for some of our players. Let's quickly run you through Shrikant Chauhan's portfolio as of day 1. He had gone short on a Grafton, so that one was a short call coming in from him. VIP Industries was another call where he went long on. All the others were a long call. So UTV Software also he placed a target of closer to 795 on that one, and a DCB was also a call which he went long on. Obviously, we'll go to see which one he's retained and which one he's changed. We've got Gaurang Shah, and that's his portfolio as on day 1. Telbarkar was a buy call. He got Ingersoll Rand as well as a buy call. 2 shorts, so basically hedging out his total portfolio. Then Nifty Futures is what he went short on, getting stopped out, seeing the end of day move that came in the Nifty, as well as a Reliance Capital which got stopped out. Let's go across and find out Shardul's portfolio. That's how it looked like. He went short on the L&T Futures. Bhushan Steel was a short call in the market, so we had to square it off at the end of the trading session. Raymond and ONGC, both of them doing well for him yesterday. ONGC particularly doing well in yesterday's session. So today is a whole new day. Let's take a look at how their portfolio as of day 2 looks and what are the changes that they've made this time around. We'll start off with you, Shrikant, on day 2. How does your portfolio look?
I think still the market is still uncertain. Yesterday it was down, today it's up and it has broken all the levels of 5500. So I can say that the market is still uncertain. It has not broken the important level of 5525. So in this kind of market, we can look for always stock specific activity in the market, and based on that I am selecting a few mid caps for my portfolio. And as the market is still uncertain, I would like to go with or I can say I would bet on pharma stocks. So yesterday I have squared off positions like DCB, VIP and Graphene, and I am entering into Delta Corporation because the volumes were great. Then out of pharma I would like to go with Ranbaxy, and the new space that I'm going to cover is okay, I'm going to retain UTV. Yesterday it closed at 740 levels. And the 4th one which is looking good to me is BGR Energy. So I'm entering into BGR, Delta and Ranbaxy on the long side, and I'm keeping UTV as a long game.
Okay, so that's Shrikant's portfolio on day 2, retaining only one of his stocks, UTV Software, otherwise going long on all 3 of his new bets. Let's talk to Gaurang. Gaurang, you've had to churn your entire portfolio, 2 stop losses which have got hit yesterday. So what's in it for today?
Well, yeah, unfortunately, I think on Nifty, my target is about 54.35, and Nifty turned from, I think, somewhere close to about 54.36, 37 kind of levels. And the last hour, the recovery on the markets showed my short on the Nifty and Reliance Capital getting topped out. So I think I had to churn that, and of course the other 2 stocks also. So I have changed my entire portfolio today. And since the market has given you some amount of momentum, I have not gone short on any of the stocks or index futures. I have gone long. Bought Lovable Lingeries. I think this was one stock last time around on your show in this game. This is one of the leading contributors for the profit. So I have picked up Lovable Lingeries today. Delta Corp, Talwalkar's and VIP Industries. Talwalkar's of course was long yesterday. So I've kind of again thought of buying it even for the day. So these are the 4 stocks that I have, and my portfolio is totally changed into all long positions.
Okay, so that's Gaurang's portfolio on day 2. Let's finally go across and see what Shardul's got for us. Shardul, you're retaining only one stock from yesterday, which is Raymond.
Good morning. Yes, we are retaining only one stock, which is Raymond. Overall, the chart structure of Raymond still looks positive, and I'm quite hopeful that the stock moves to the higher levels of around 404, 405. The portfolio churns that we have done is that we have moved out of Larsen & Toubro Cell. We've also moved out of Bhushan Steel. The target of Bhushan Steel was incidentally achieved. And ONGC is one stock wherein, yes, the move has come, a follow-up trading session today also. So I think apart from moving out from these three stocks, we've got into the portfolio three new stocks. One is BPCL. We feel that yes, BPCL can move to higher levels. Another one wherein you saw an interesting move in yesterday's trading session is Syntex. So Syntex is one counter we would be bullish. And the third one is Aban Offshore, wherein the stock has given you a breakdown. So I think I would maintain short positions in Aban Offshore.
All right, short positions in Aban Offshore and long in BPCL, Syntex, Raymond. Let's quickly pull out their individual calculator plates and tell you how they've stacked up for today's session and the overall gains that they're making from day one. So that's Srikanth's portfolio, retaining a UTV software, making money on that, but Ranbaxy and BGR Energy working the charm for him. Overall, he's making a cool 9,000 odd rupees in the matter of just 2 days. That's Gaurang's portfolio, making good money on Bata as well as VIP Industries, and unchanged on a Delta Corp, and Lovable also 0.5% higher. He is also back in the race, about closer to 3,000 rupees is what he's making. And finally, on to Shardul's portfolio. He's got Raymond, BPCL, Syntex going long on those counters. Some losses coming in Aban Offshore, making closer to 1%, about 4,400 odd rupees in total. Let's keep it with individual stocks then. You've seen how their portfolios are faring as of now. Let's start off with their first stock in the portfolio. We'll start off with you, Srikanth, first on a Delta Corp. You've got a buy call on this one.
Yeah, Devina, you can look for this particular stock. Like on charts, we can clearly notice that in last 15 days, the stock is continuously into bullish attack. Something 5 days back also, it recovered very well with a percentage rise of something 14-15% for the day. Yesterday also it recovered very well, and it has broken the important level of 97 with huge volume. So it looks like that the market, that particular stock is continuously holding the level of 90 from last say like 15-20 days. And in case if it remains above 97 today or for next few days, then we can certainly expect the next important level like 109 or maybe 125 on the higher side. So it's a very strong bet even at current levels with the stop loss at 95.
Strong bet at current levels. 110 is the target that Srikanth is placing with a stop at 95. And interesting because this is also a stock that Gaurang has in his portfolio. Gaurang, I'll come to you on the fundamentals a bit later, but let's chat about your first pick, which is a Lovable. You mentioned that it worked in your favor the last time around. Do you think it'll do the trick this time as well? And do you think that it's a good long-term bet?
It's a fantastic long-term bet, Avan, and actually last time around when we were talking about this particular stock on the game show that I played with you guys, I think it was trading at around about 250, 265 if I'm not mistaken, and over the last 3 trading session, I think on Friday the stock Lovable Laundries had hit an upper circuit of around about 20% if I'm not mistaken. Even yesterday you had seen a good amount of recovery after an initial bump up. We saw the stock going down to somewhere close to about 375, 372. Then by the time we closed the day, recovered quite smartly to about 380 to 85 kind of levels. I expect that from a medium to long term point of view, I think consumption driven stories are something to fall back on and place your money on, and that's what exactly we feel. I think the stock ideas like Talwalkar, like Lovable Laundries, Jubilant Foodworks, Bata India, I think they kind of augment well in a scenario where you have an absolute range bound kind of market, because a large part of the investment would possibly be attracted to the consumption driven story. So yes, from a long term point of view, we do feel that this could replicate what Page Industry has done. Of course, it may take a little bit of longer time, but you cannot rule out at least 15 to 20% upside from here on.
Alright, and that is Gaurang's take on Lovable Laundry, which is his first stock. 0.5% is what he's gaining. But remember, the stock has already moved up quite significantly over the last 7 days. I believe 21% is what it's already done in the last 7 days. In fact, just come to you, Shardul, before I take your pick, on a Lovable Laundry itself, while the fundamental and Gaurang is playing the consumption story, but one aspect that you probably can't miss out is the run-up that it has had recently. So do you believe that it will start consolidating right now, or there is still room up?
See, it entirely depends on your time frame. I think that if you see the charts of this particular counter, yes, the volumes have been very strong. As rightly pointed out, the stock has moved up from 320 to 380, a 20% upper circuit on huge volumes. So I think that yes, the uptrend is in place. The only thing is that if your time frame is a little longer, then it would bode well that you buy the stock on all dips and hold it for the longer term, because after a 20% upper circuit, immediately to expect the stock that the stock will give you another 20% is quite difficult, especially in case of stocks which have large market caps. So I think that in case of this particular comparatively large market caps, so in case of this particular counter, yes, while the uptrend is in place, you will see an upside going forward. So I think it makes a buy. It's a suitable candidate for a buy on dips.
All right, suitable candidate for a buy on this, sharing the opinion of Gaurang that over the medium term to a long term, this consumption story will play out, and even on the charts, you can expect some upside. But coming to your own individual stock, a BPCL, Shardul?
Yes, we have chosen BPCL. If you actually look at the charts, the momentum oscillators actually give you a buy in yesterday's trading session. Plus, you have a trend line breakout, a downward sloping trend line breakout. Plus, you have a strong uptrend, which the stock has seen over the past couple of trading sessions, consolidating in the range of 600 to 630. We would say that overall, I would look at oil as a space, not moving too much. I think there will be some news which you will see in case of the oil marketing companies in the next couple of trading sessions. The EGOM meeting is something which we expect going forward. So I think that this particular stock will move higher, and the stock has decent support at the current level. So I think that 606 is a stop loss that you can place in case of BPCL, and trade bullish in this counter for a target of around 640 rupees.
Alright, a BPCL is the stock that Shardul's got a buy call on in his portfolio and doing fairly well in today's session, higher by a percent. Stock number 2 is Ranbaxy for Srikanth. Srikanth, highlight why you like this stock in the pharma space.
Yeah, the one reason is that the market is still uncertain, and because of that only we have seen very good up move in almost all the pharma stocks. In this specifically, the stock has given extraordinary returns in last 1 month. It was at something 420, and from there it moved to the levels of 520, 530. So in my sense, any correction from higher levels will be an opportunity to look for it with a say like a buying view. We can keep a target of something 560, 565 on the high side, and yesterday it was like recovered from a lower level, so I can keep a stop loss at say like 518, and we can look for it to go long, because in case if it breaks 545, 546, which looks like it will break, so if it breaks this 545, 546, then certainly the stock can move to the levels of 560, 565 in the near term.
All right, that's a call on Ranbaxy working in favor of Srikanth, up by 1.5%. But Delta Corp makes a reappearance now in Gaurang Shah's portfolio. But Gaurang, you've got a different logic to it altogether. Srikanth found volumes being attractive, the price movement on the upside being on the higher side. But what's your own take?
I think certainly from 75-80 levels, Delta Corp has kind of consolidated quite smartly, and on the technical front also Srikanth did mention. So on the fundamentals, I think the newer business opportunities that has come up for Delta Corp, I think it arguments well for the growth of the company, and in the next 2 or 3 quarters you are going to see a significant amount of contribution coming in from there. And of course the numbers that we saw last time around were quite good, given the fact that they had a little bit of issue with the Goa property, and of course with the newer properties that they plan to come up in the other parts of India. I am given to understand Sikkim is the state that they plan to open up newer casinos. So I think this all arguments well for Delta Corp, and given the kind of growth prospects going forward, I think it is definitely a good value buy. Maybe at current levels, if somebody wants to enter in and invest in a sizable amount of money, I think in a phased out manner from the current CMP you can start doing it. The downside looks very, very protected. So from an intraday perspective, or maybe in a short term point of view, we could look for a target about 113, and your stop loss could be placed at around about 93 levels. But yeah, fundamentals I think they seems to appear quite well, and going forward they could even improve much better.
Take a look at the stock price movement in intraday trade, higher by 1.5%, getting a stamp of approval from both the fundamental as well as the technical side. Let's talk about Syntex. That emerges as a stock in your portfolio, Shardul. It's been a bit consolidated off late. Do you expect any major moves?
Yes, in case of Syntex, what we've seen in yesterday's trading session is that the volumes have picked up. The stock has taken support at a significant retracement level. The 50-day moving average still points upwards, as well as you're seeing that yes, the stock is consolidating and probably will move in the range of around 195 to 175. At the lower end of the range, it makes sense to buy into this particular counter with a stop loss of 176 and trade bullish for a target of around 190 to 195 in the next 3 to 5 trading sessions.
Alright, that's the view coming in from Shardul. We'll slip into a quick break on that note and hear out why our experts have picked out stocks 3 and 4. But on that note, let's remind you, if you've got any queries in the equity space, simply write into us to bnsn@etnow.tv, send us an SMS to 58888 or chat with us live on the show on 022 24837 111 to get them answered.
Alright, welcome back. You're watching the stock game right here on ET Now. Time to take on board the third and the fourth stock in each of our experts' portfolios. Let's start off with Srikanth Chauhan this time around, and he's got a BGR Energy in his portfolio. Srikanth, this one is doing well for you in today's session as well.
Yeah, Devina, you can even go through with the stock BGR when, and you can clearly notice that the stock is continuously maintaining the important range of 440 and 600 on the high side. This time it has formed positive divergence kind of formation on daily charts, and it recovered very well from that level, from 440 to select 500 levels. Now it is continuously concentrating at one level only, which is at 480. So I can say that from here we can again expect the level of 600 in the near term, because the stock is certainly going to follow this particular range. It is in between, and yesterday the way it closed, it looks like that we can look for it to go long with a stop loss at 478, and it has very immediate resistance at 506, 507 levels. But in case if it breaks this level, then certainly we can expect 530, 535 in the near term.
Okay, so if it breaks 506, 507, 530 is the kind of level that you can anticipate. Srikanth placing a target of 540. Talk about a Bata India as well, Gaurang, because this one has emerged as a favorite and it's doing fairly well in the session. How much more headroom?
I think absolutely in the near term, Avan, you can look for a target about 545 to higher levels. But the issue is, with the kind of momentum, as you rightly mentioned, the stock even on a bad day has been showing no sign of fatigue. And even if it does correct, minutely on the lower side, you see a good amount of buying coming in. I was just looking to the data a couple of trading session back. I think the delivery volumes were looking quite significantly on the higher side compared to any average day. So Bata India again, with the kind of commentary that the management has given, that they are trying to fight the lower end of the segment by introducing newer products to get over with the unorganized sector, and of course the goods from the Chinese market getting dumped. I think it arguments very, very well, and the growth prospects also look very, very bright. On the fundamentals, the last quarter numbers also were speaking quite well for the company. So overall, I think even from an investment idea, I think VIP Industries does qualify to be a good investment stock to be in. So, but immediately from a short term, I think 545 is what I'm looking at.
Alright, that's a Bata India that Gaurang was talking about. Remember, it's already hit it very close to hitting its 52-week high as well. 533 is where it's trading at. On to you, Shardul, and you've got a short call on an Aban offshore.
Yes, in case of an Aban offshore, what we're seeing is that the stock has actually broken crucial support levels. In the last few trading sessions, it has bounced, but again taken the resistance near the 50-day moving average and moving downwards. So I think that so long as the stock continues to move in the lower top, low bottom cycle, it makes sense to go short rather than to go long. So I think that at this particular stage, the stock has given you a bounce incidentally in today's trading session, gone up 1.5%, wherein you could have gone short. Again, it is moving downwards. So I think that this particular downward trend will continue. I would expect the stock to test the prior bottom of around 530 to 535 over the next 3 to 5 trading sessions. So basically the view is clearly negative in case of Aban offshore. The stock has been moving on strong volumes in the lower top, low bottom, and I think that this particular cycle will continue.
Okay, downside likely to continue for an Aban offshore. Let's talk about your last pick, Srikanth, then, and you've got a bullish stance on a UTV. This really seems to emerge as a favorite from the analyst community as well.
See, UTV is a very interesting case. If we go through with the pattern of last 5 days, the stock is continuously managing the level of 725. Yesterday also it went down to the level of 725, but again it recovered today and it is trading at 740, 745 levels. In my sense, I think the stock is continuously finding very strong buying pressure around the 725 levels, and the way yesterday it cracked down, it was without any volume. So in my sense, in case if it holds the 725 levels, which it should, then I can expect the level of again 770 minimum on the higher side, but max we can even expect 795. It's a very strong bet with a say like next 15-20 days.
That is strong bet from the next 15 to 20 days. Fundamental news also supporting the kind of price move we've been seeing. On to Gaurang then, and VIP Industries. Gaurang, I think you kind of replaced the name there for Bata India, but on VIP Industries, this one also doing really well near its 52-week high.
Yeah, I got a little bit confused with both the stock, but VIP Industries purely from a short-term point of view, Devina, it looks very attractive. I think if one wants to trade it from an absolute short-term angle, 725 would be your stop loss and your target could be about 788. Again, here with the kind of limited downside, I think the stock would give you a good amount of upside from here.
Okay, so strong upside expected, placing a target of 788 on VIP Industries. And let's talk about your final pick, Shardul, on the textile space. Or Raymond, would this, if you were to cherry pick within this space, would this emerge as a favorite?
Yes, quite rightly. If you look at Raymond as a stock, strong higher top, higher bottom cycle over the last couple of trading sessions, and the whole sector is doing well. You're seeing Arvind move up, you've seen Escomas move up, you're seeing Raymond move up significantly from 340 to 380, and that too on huge volumes. So I think that as a trading bet, I think it augurs well that you buy into Raymond on every dip. Presently, the stop loss from a trading perspective should be placed at 369, and I would expect the stock to test the upper end of the trading range of around 403 to 405 over the next 3 to 5 sessions.
Right. All right. That was Shardul's last pick. Raymond there getting a stop loss at 369.9, up about 1.4%. Let's quickly run you through once again how they're stacking up in terms of gains for their portfolio. So Delta Corp, which was a little dicey at the start of the show, has moved into the green, 0.5% higher at last count. That's Shrikant Chauhan making 2% overall returns on his portfolio, a cool 10,200 odd rupees. Coming to Gaurang Shah, and his portfolio is also completely in the green there. Lovable doing the work for him. Bata India as well as VIP Industries also adding up, making 3,500 rupees at last count. And coming back down to Shardul and his portfolio and how it stacks up right now. Just making a loss in the Nabhan Offshore, seeing he's got a sell call on it, but the stock's up about 0.5%. Making 1% on the portfolio, so 4,600 odd rupees. It's quite neck to neck between Gaurang and Shardul as well, but a clear lead by Shrikant Chauhan. On that note, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining in and playing the stock game with us. Shrikant, Gaurang as well as Shardul. We'll join you tomorrow, same time here as well, to take a look at your new portfolios.
Okay, let's go ahead and just remind our viewers, we haven't forgotten about all of your individual queries, so do keep them coming. There are 3 ways that you can participate on the show. bnsn@etnow.tv, that's our email ID. You can also send in an SMS to us at 58888 or be a live caller on the show by dialing into 022 2483 7111.
And coming up on the other side of the short break, we've got stocks to discuss in the form of GVK Power, TCS June Future, as well as SPI with Project.